success. Your enthusiasm and commitment are what make ICT Big 2023 a truly special and enriching experience. We encourage you to continue engagement and collaboration. Use the breaks between the sessions to network, share, Use the breaks between the sessions to network, share insights, and build connections. Remember, the true value of this conference lies not just in what happens on the stage, but in the conversations and connections that happen off stage as well. Without further ado, let's kick off day two with first keynote session of Mr. Anadi Upadhyay. Welcome to ICT Big 2023 at Symbiosis, sir. Before I hand over to you, let me take a privilege to introduce you with the August gathering. Sir is a software professional and hands-on engineering leader with experience in all stages of product development lifecycle. He has proven his ability to lead and work effectively with global, diverse, and cross-functional teams. Sir is an exceptional motivator of teams to achieve outstanding and sustainable results with a proven track record for delivery of enterprise business applications for over 20 years. Sir is currently leading engineering teams across time zones to deliver highly secure enterprise applications, which provides a consistent consumer grade user experience across devices, enterprise grade scalability, and mission critical performance. Mr. Anadi is constantly collaborating and supporting consumers and partners worldwide for successful adoption of Oracle Cloud applications. He has 10 plus US patents to his credit. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together for Mr. Anadi Upadhyay. Sir, over to you. You're not audible, sir. I guess you need to unmute.
Yep, thank you. Thanks for reminding, and thanks for very good, great introduction. And it's my privilege to join all of you remotely from San Francisco Bay Area. Good morning to all of you. And I will stop my video and we will dive into an interesting session from. Can you please allow me to screen sharing? Will it be possible? So looks like screen sharing is disabled. Can you please enable it? Perfect. Thank you. So today we are going to focus on like multiple things, and the simple and most important thing that we are going to talk about a simple question, that are we ready to harness the technology for business transformation with the combination of AI, automation, and human being. You already got my introduction, so I will not go there. But before we start, I just wanted to remind that I am coming here as my own, and all the names and vendors I'm referring just is for an example, and there is no promotion required here. And before we deep dive into anything, we have seen medicine, we have seen technology in uh, airspace, and we are not. But there is a different section where we have yet to see the technology innovation. So I just want to play a brief video to explain where are we and where are we going today.
We are in an era
I hope
of rapid
you can hear
digital
this.
innovation. Technological advances are coming together to reshape every aspect of project delivery. And Oracle is focused on helping organizations navigate the accelerating transformation of how and where we work. The worksite of tomorrow isn't confined to a place, it's everywhere. Distance has become irrelevant as 5G connected devices instantaneously access site data, like physical data and depth sensing cameras. BIM data is experienced in virtual reality, augmented reality, and holograms. Autonomous vehicles carry workers to and from job sites, allowing them to work uninterrupted while en route. Work sites themselves are safer and more efficient than ever before. Wearable sensors deliver security and safety by verifying worker identities and training. In the event of an accident, these same sensors alert first responders with the worker's vitals and exact location. Connected and autonomous construction equipment operate alongside crews, performing repetitive and high-risk tasks while tools capture project data. Powered exoskeletons enhance a worker's performance while eliminating injuries. Productivity skyrockets. Sensors continuously collect and benchmark performance data. AI and machine learning algorithms assess risk, schedule tasks, coordinate activities, adjust plans in real time, and report progress to stakeholders. In the Everywhere worksite, meetings are virtual. Workers and stakeholders use visualization tools to ensure everyone is aligned. Technology streamlines entire industries, delivering rapid advances in productivity and quality. New materials are developed using nanotechnology. Embedded sensors enable real-time tracking and monitoring of environmental conditions, reducing cost and risk. Companies offer their customers a selection of digital models that can be prefabricated or 3D printed. A digital twin of the physical asset collects and analyzes data throughout its life cycle. All these connections across the project lifecycle optimize processes and unlock data-driven insights to drive continuous improvement. This future is already taking shape as the digital and physical worlds in.
So thank you. I hope everyone could hear that. And the very specific reason to take that example was that trans- uh, the building constructions and the construction overall is something which where we have seen very less digitization, and this is the place where this is already taking shape right now, as we know, and this all possible because of the digital transformation. Today we are in exponential technology world, perhaps the first time in the history of human being. Technology is evolving faster than we expected to. We have just witnessed the technology and work have become more and more intertwined. We have seen how people from different walks of life, that is, global corporation to government, academia to small businesses, and elementary school kids to university students, relied solely on technology when in crisis and quickly reimagined how they can move on. So, this reimagination was possible just based on the transformation. And I would definitely briefly touch upon three T's of transformation, that is time, technology, and team. Time, when we talk about time, is now. Why it is now is because the pandemic has accelerated existing trend in remote work, e-commerce, and automation. So all the changes are already amplified with up to 25% more worker than previously estimated will have to change the occupations. What we are seeing there 2 to 5x growth in e-commerce as a surge in digital platform is underway, and automation is going to pick skyrocket. We are going to see the more examples of how it is happening and how it will take shape very soon. If you see the estimates and the reality, more than 100 million workers they will have to switch their job by 2030. Only in United States, 4.3 million possible fall in customer service job because AI and automation will be shaping up, and we will be seeing the examples of that. So biggest shift that we see today due to the reimagination and transformation is that automation and AI. And this is rapidly growing post pandemic. And this is various reasons are because it can improve the efficiency in the speed, and it offer contact free services that we need, and because we got used to it in during pandemic, and it is amplifying more and more. Let us take few examples of where it is going today, and let us focus on how it is going to impact your future too. Start with AI and ML, correct? So we have all seen how the chatbots or chat GPT or generative AI is already taking place in our workplace. Be it a small chatbot to order a pizza or getting information about universities and courses using a chatbot, or writing a resume simply with the help of ChatGPT. These are the simple examples of the use of increasing importance of algorithms and AI and machine learning. Service robots are deploying slowly everywhere. Today, when we are going to restaurants, we can see that service robots are delivering to serve you food on your table. So, AI and ML, service robots, robotic process automation, and industrial robotic tools are going to increase every day. Simplest example of robotic process automation will be when today, when I be apply for any loan application or any mortgage application, you don't have to sign any document physically. Everything is available and online. So all the paperwork and documentation has been eliminated using the robotic process automation. These are the some examples and how it is being done, how it is possible. Correct. It is possible because of the cloud computing. You will be going through various uses of IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS in public, private, and hybrid world during your different sessions. But cloud computing is the technology of today and which is driving all the transformation for us. So why you think that cloud computing is getting popular? Correct. It is not it's because of it's a new technology, but it's simple a business sense for the business users. So rather than investing heavily in database, software, and hardware, organizations, businesses are opting to rent compute power, correct? And this and they are going for a model, pay for it as they use it. And that's the reason that everything that you're using from your mobile to your desktop is getting hosted by cloud computing. And what are the examples of it? Limited with the storage, servers, database, networking, software, analytics, and even business intelligence uh, service providers, which is easily available on the cloud. Now, when we are talking about the transformation and digitization, and when everything is getting hosted on cloud, there will be some new challenges. And organizations have a great opportunity and responsibility, including all the academia, to help current and future employee to acquire skills they need for new kinds of job that will help reimagining the future of work. There is a strong need to recognize the influence of employee well-being and employee engagement on the workplaces. Simple example, we can say that cyber attacks are increasing day by day. It's causing trillions of dollars of damage every year. The cybersecurity industry has chance to step up, seize the opportunity at the current rate of the growth. Damage from cyber attacks will be amount to 10.5 trillion annually by 2025. Every year we will be losing 10.5 trillion dollars, a 300% increase from 2015 level. It is just because that everything is moving to cloud and digitization. Correct. So what the world is doing, what we are doing is a big team to stop it. If you see the market, the global cybersecurity total addressable market may reach 1.5 trillion to 2 trillion, which is approximately 10 times the size of the banded market. If you look at the innovation which is happening today by academia as well as the well-known organization, you can find out that number of patents, number of innovation which is coming in the cybersecurity market is increasing day by day. Everyone is trying to come up with some idea to stop the cyber attack and save the money. And this is just an example of how things are shaping up today and how the industry is stepping up to stop this as overall. You can get all this content easily on net and deep dive into it using simple AI and ML algorithms to find out who is uh, who is doing what, I mean, which segment innovations are happening more, and why it is happening. Because this is all possible. Few lines of code, you can get all the results. Correct. If you look at the whole digital market, because we are talking about transformation, correct? And so China is still leading the way with number of internet users. We all know that India has already passed China in the population, correct? But still, the internet users in India is less than the China. So if you look at the in India as an example, we have a big market available for users to go on internet. And when more and more people start using internet, which is right now, as per the, I think this is the data is coming from mid of 2023, it is 692 million internet users in India, and China has 1.5 billion. As we are suppressing China in population, our penetration to internet is only 49%. If we talk about future responsibilities, more and more people will be going to digitization, correct? And there are lot of opportunities for everyone to succeed. To succeed and thrive, we must rethink and challenge everything we know about work. We cannot change the past, but this current time and crisis certainly can help us to prepare for a better future. Users are looking for consumer grade experience at a workplace and everywhere they work for, correct? And do we have success? Yes. Let us take the example of our well-known success in the world from India. It's a unified payment interface success. UPI transaction. This is we are talking about data summarized as on Jan 23. And next slide we will be showing. I will be trying to highlight the what we are doing currently and how we can learn from it. Correct. So if you look at the number of transactions in India, we are doing 8 billion transactions only in a month per month, correct? And 300 million individuals used it for 50 million and 50 million merchants. If you total talk about like how it is changed in from 2022, 650%. And if you look at the 2023 data, you will still find more than 800% jump every year. We are crossing 600 to 800% jumps in digitization. This is the example of the growth that we are seeing and success of India's story on the unified payment interface. If you want to compare it in the world, how much it is compare, $1.5 trillion annualized basis, which is equal to the US, UK, Germany, and France multiply by 4. So we have doing all major economies which is already well developed, combine them, we are crossing them very easily. So this is the success story. And if you look at the as of yesterday's data, now it is payment system is completely getting used everywhere, and NPCI is publishing data every day for your analysis. So anyone who is very keen on AI, correct, and have basic knowledge of Python and ML can simply pull this data items and and predict that what the future will look like in 2025. That will give you the full picture of the opportunities which is available to everyone to perform, correct? So using disruption as a launching pad to imagine new opportunities and possibilities, we have a once in a lifetime opportunity to rethink how we work, where we work, and how we work, and who we work with. Digitization and reimagining our work will provide us more return on our investment using the technology, using the current opportunities. we have the opportunity to think out of the box and innovate every day. If only one thing or only one takeaway I want you to take from this session, that will be innovate. Change call for the innovation, and innovation lead to the progress. There is way to do it, whether we find it, and that is the only takeaway you should take it. Enjoy your conference, deep dive into all the sessions that you are going to, and be aware that cloud or AI will be part of everything you will do. So don't assume that it's a separate thing to learn. Anything and everything you will be doing, AI and cloud computing, and will be core of it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. The session was highly insightful with lot of information and details. Indeed, it was rightly mentioned by you, the 3 T's of transformation in the areas of time, technology, and team. Transformation is key to outcomes, and we actually felt it. The role of AI, nobody can, escape out of AI. Even now in the household chores, we are using AI. The robo home cleaners, even we have started using in India. So I guess AI is, indebted into everywhere. And post COVID, I guess AI is something which can't be avoided. Of course, chatbots and chat GPT has helped students a lot, but again it's a challenge for the faculty, so we need to be very careful and cautious for that. But thank you so much that you have delivered such a insightful session. It was really great. In a very nutshell, you have explained us everything. Thank you so much for joining us, sir. I, on behalf of Symbiosis Fraternity, extend a hearty gratitude to you for joining us and sharing the insightful knowledge with us. Thank you so much, sir. Have a nice day. So up next, we have Professor Ainur. Madam has joined. Ma'am, have you joined us, ma'am? Dr. Ainur Unal. So we were supposed to have Professor Dr. Ainur Unal, but then due to certain technical glitches and the time differences of the 2 different countries, it's midnight there, and hopefully she could not join us. So we're moving ahead with our next keynote session, for which I would like to invite Dr. Neha Gupta.
समीक्षा मैडम आपकी ब्रीफ प्रोफाइल भेजेंगे क्या? नहीं मैं ढूंढ रहा हूँ उसका प्रोफाइल क्या हो गया प्रोफाइल भेज रही है क्या
ये ऐसे नहीं हो पाएगी। So moving ahead, there was a little small glitch, but then we are back and we're moving towards the keynote session of Dr. Samiksha Tiwari with us. This will be offline keynote session. Ma'am is available with us, and this would be a face-to-face session. Before I start with the session, I request Dr. Durgesh Mishra to extend a floral welcome to Ma'am Samiksha. I request if the sapling can be presented to Ma'am. Yeah. So, Ma'am, this is an honor that you would be on the dais. Yeah. So let's put our hands together for Dr. Samiksha with us. I request Dr. Durgesh Mishra to extend a welcome to Ma'am with a sapling. Before we start the formal session, I would like to take the privilege to introduce Ma'am to the August gathering. Dr. Samiksha Shukla is currently employed as an associate professor at Department of Computer Science and Engineering at Christ University, Bangalore. Her research areas include computation security, artificial intelligence, machine learning, data science, and big data. She is certified AWS educator. She has presented and published several research papers in reputed journals and conferences. She has co-edited data science and security books, which are in Springer 2020, 2021, and 2022, and also co-authored Springer Brief on data ethics and challenges. She has 18 years of academic and research experience. She is reviewer of the InduScience Journal, Springer Natures, and International Journal of Systems Assurance Engineering and Management Journal, and IEEE and ACM conferences. Dr. Shukla is an experienced and focused teacher committed to promoting students' education and well-being. She is passionate about innovation and good practices in teaching. She has constantly engaged in continuous learning to broaden her knowledge and experience. Her core expertise lies in computational security, artificial intelligence, and healthcare related projects. She is skilled at adopting a pragmatic approach to improvising social solutions and resolving complex research problems. Dr. Shukla possesses an integrated set of competencies encompassing teaching, mentoring, strategic management, and establishing a center of excellence via industry tie ups. She has a track record of driving unprecedented research and development projects with international collaboration and has been instrumental in organizing various national and international events. The list is very long, ladies and gentlemen, and without much ado, I request Dr. Samiksha to take over and start with a keynote session. Put your hands together for Dr. Samiksha.
Thank you, ma'am.
मैडम
No, I connected to link.
हाँ आगे ऊपर आइए
नहीं, दूसरी connect करती हूँ। अच्छा हाँ, सिर्फ पासपोर्ट ऊपर डालना है ना। I think I need sharing permission. It is. No, I'm not able to locate the PPT. It's not loading. Should be visible here. Fine. It's already open. It's already. Just a minute. It's shared. 1 minute. I just want to see whether it's mute. It's already in presentation.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here to take you through exploration of education 5.0, and we all are educator and learner. So I'll be briefly talking about convergence of technology, innovation, and different teaching pedagogy, which is required for us to be ready for education 5.0. So as in the morning, we already had a session with Anadi sir, and if you see, sir was also talking about something related to technological advancement. I'm also going to touch upon something similar, but I'll be telling you how we as a teacher and learner need to upskill ourselves so that we will be at par with the requirement of education 5.0. So I'll be talking about the evolution of education paradigm. We all know we have moved from education 1.0, and now we are proceeding toward education 5.0. Then what are the roles as an educator? We need to have change or upskill ourselves. What are the challenges which we may face during the education 5.0 adoption at the institution? What are the future trends and possibilities for us as an educator, as a learner, and a higher education institution? What exactly education 5.0? So let us proceed further. So when I talk about education 1.0, it is traditional education in which we used to have teacher-centered learning. The days where teacher used to instruct and student used to be passive learner, there were very limited use of technologies. Then came education, industrial age of education, in which education was taken as a priority, but again the technological involvement was very less, but efficiency was the focus. Then education 3.0 was the information age, where we started with technological involvement in our teaching pedagogy, and we moved from information processing and retrieval mode from the old teaching methodologies. Teachers and students were encouraged to go for critical and creative thinking in education 3.0. Education 4.0 is something which we have adapted during COVID, and we all have integrated most of the digital technologies, and we have adapted as a learner and teacher how can we live in virtual environment. That was started when COVID forced us to go for it. Uh, in education 4.0, we had personalized and learner-centric method of teaching and learning, and we started emphasizing on collaboration and project-based learning. So even in the labs, we used to bring in projects. So toward the end of the semester, students should come up with a project for each lab they are going through. And now we started with education 5.0, and that is nothing but future of learning. And as an educator, we all are going toward it, and we are upskilling ourselves. So that is where we call ourselves lifelong learners. So being a teacher, we all are lifelong learners, because what we would have learned 10, 15, 20 years before may not be the one which we are going to teach you. So in order to make the technology bring to the classroom, we always go for upskilling ourselves, and the same thing we expect from our student when they go for their jobs. Yes, as an educator, we have our roles changing. So we don't have those old teaching pedagogies which we were using 10 years back. We are changing the role from knowledge transmitter to facilitator. Sometime when I go to classroom, I find my student well informed before the class, because we always share the course plan with them and we go and discuss in the class. So as a facilitator, my responsibility is not only to teach them, my responsibility is to make them aware of what are the things available for them. Emphasis on mentorship and guidance. So nowadays, all the teaching higher education institution have mentoring programs where they have a mentor assigned to the student, who are mentor for the student from the day they join the institution and future on. So my students who are still placed still, they are connected with me because I was their mentor, and they used to share their advancement in career, their advancement in learning, their the bonding which we share when we have mentor mentee relationship with the student is totally different when we have teacher student relationship. So we need to change role as an educator to be mentor mentee. Next is continuous professional development of educators. So I know that every university across India are very much involved in upskilling their educators. They are supporting staff, teachers to go for certification, bring it back to the institution, and develop center for excellence so that it can be offered to the student, and it will definitely help in their placement. But there are challenges which we face when we go for adoption of education 5.0. First is ethical implication of the technology in education. So as Anadi sir just now, he was telling that we need to use chat gpt, we need to use so many facilities which are available for the student, for the educator, but how ethically we are using it. So if I give some assignment to student to code, and if they are getting it from ChatGPT, I don't mind they are getting it from anywhere. But whether they are learning it or not, that is my concern. So ethical use of technology is very, very important thing which we need to adapt when we go for education 5.0. Addressing accessibility and inclusivity. This is one of the challenge which was very prominent before COVID, but after COVID, we can see that education is reaching to the places where people were deprived of facilities. We are reaching to the people through virtual classes and inclusivity of those who were not getting access to education and infrastructure and facilities. Balancing technology and human interaction. Yes, another challenge is when I talk about this education 5.0, we are missing on human touch sometime when we are deeply involved in education 5.0. So the challenge is, along with this adoption of technology, how we are getting connected as a human. Another challenge as a higher education institution we have is preparing our educator to adopt the technology and bring it to the classroom. And it is a paradigm shift, and it is difficult for education institution to take faculty from the old teaching methodology to education 5.0. How can we train and motivate our student to use those technologies effectively and ethically? These are few challenges which we face when we go for education 5.0, but it is the future trend. So we need to adapt and we need to overcome the challenge. And for that, we need to follow certain principles which we have in education 5.0, and few of them are like how to go for adaptive learning, how can we go for global collaboration. So we have universities coming up with global collaboration, where we send our student for student exchange programs. So student can study here for 2 years, and they can go and study abroad for 2 years, come back and get dual degree programs. So these are something which are possible with education 5.0 and collaboration. The evolving concept of physical learning space. What exactly this education 5.0 is? It is learners who were in passive stage, they have moved from being passive recipient of the information to the active creator of knowledge. So all the teachers who are sitting here, they will agree with me that we have most of our research collaboration with a student. They bring the idea, and we try to explore with them, and that is something which create knowledge and bring it to the research community. Assessment, which we had earlier assessment methodology, it is shifted to authentic online tests and badges. So I have many students who always come and ask me that, madam, I have completed this batch, is there any extra batch which I can do and which will be add on to my profile? So I have seen many of these students who are coming and forcing us to explore what could be the next batch we can recommend to our student. And this is how we moved from education 1.0 to education 5.0. Earlier we had lecturing and memorization mode. Then we moved to education, internet based education. Then knowledge based. So we had lot of content over internet, but we were not utilizing it. Then came knowledge based education. Then came innovative culture, and innovation based education came, where we involved our student in projects, and then we came up with the new ideas. And education 5.0, where we are very much concerned about ethics and human based learning. So where we have that emotional connect with the student. Emotional intelligence is something which is very important concept which we have brought in education for 5.0, along with all the points which we were exploring from education 1.0 to education 5.0. When I say education 5.0, it doesn't mean that we are not following concept of 2.0, 1.0 or 3.0. It is integration of all in education 5.0, where we have personalized learning path. So I will divide my student in different learner categories, and we will disseminate the knowledge in a way that it will reach to the learner as per their requirement. So there are certain principles which we follow in education 5.0. First thing is student centric learning. As I was telling just now, we have divided our student in different type of learner, and based on their requirement, we are sharing the knowledge. Lifelong learning. So as an educator or as a student, we need to be lifelong learner to be job ready always. Third one is technological integration. So we bring in all this technology like chat GPT, or you have PPT creator, you have content creator, you have image creator. Everything is there with a click of mouse. But ethical use is very important. Technological integration is one of the component principle of education 5.0. Inclusivity and diversity, in this we talk about respecting each other, celebrate the difference, and learn together. The last point is critical thinking and problem solving. That is something very, very important as a learner and a educator both. There are few components of education 5.0 which we need to adapt as a learner and a teacher both. So first thing is holistic learning. Not only your technological or classroom teaching which is going to help you in your life, you need to have personal, interpersonal, societal skills which need to be incorporated in your overall learning. And we have lot of free resources available. Yesterday also we had talk from Tripathi sir Y.N. Singh sir, they were talking about what are the resources they are making available for you. You should utilize it. Lifelong learning and continuous learning is another component of education 5.0. The expectation is you should always upskill, keep yourself up to date. Human centric approach. So yesterday when I was listening to Chandak sir, he was talking about the resources available with your AWS Academy or Google and Microsoft. All these tech giants are providing the learning path to a student, and this learning path are available for free. So as a learner, we can utilize this learning path. I can choose, I'm interested in cyber security, they will give me a customized learning path for me. Or someone is interested in data science, they will give you customized learning path for you. The only thing is resources available. You need to start, you need to take an initiative and utilize it. The fourth point is interdisciplinary learning. So now it is the area where we collaborate with all the department. So I have teachers from computer science department. They are collaborating with management, psychology, economy, whatnot. So there are many courses which are interdisciplinary and which will give you a very good idea to explore other domain and bring it and come up with some technological solution, as we all are from computer science domain. Another thing is education 5.0 will lead us toward global citizenship and social responsibility, and a student who are fostering education in education 5.0 are socially responsible because they are trained with holistic education where we are talking about personal, interpersonal and societal skill. Yes, so as a higher education institution or a learner in HEI, what we need to do? First thing is we should integrate technology purposefully. So when I say purposefully, in the sense, I have created a MOOC course, and that MOOC course is an interdisciplinary, and I can disseminate that course. I can offer that course to maybe the student who are from management, who are from maybe any social science subject. So first thing is I should know the purpose of creating that technical course. We should collaborate. So recently I visited to IIM Bangalore, and we are coming up with Center for Digital Learning. So for that, when I visited, I got to know that the collaboration in IIM is not only within IIM. There is a Institute of Indian Knowledge System. IIM management faculty are collaborating with Indian Knowledge System, where they talk about old Indian traditional books. On the basis of that, they bring in management concept, and that course is already available on NPTEL. So the collaboration and the purpose, they had very clear objective before creating the course. Another one is cultivate a culture of lifelong learning as a learner and teacher. Holistic professional development. So institution need to invest in educator and empower them with dynamic skills. So until the teachers are uh, empowered, we will not be able to bring in the required skill to the classroom. So we need to empower our teachers, then only we can bring the skills to the classroom. Train student as well as teacher on emotional intelligence, collaboration and ethical use of technology. Next point which we need to consider as a higher education institution is enhanced assessment method. So yes, real world dynamic assessment, because old traditional teaching learning method may not be adapted by the current learners. Promote project based assessment. So as I was telling in the beginning, we can bring in project toward the end of each lab, maybe a mini project which will give more exposure to students. Interdisciplinary curriculum design. So sometime in our engineering courses, we bring in management teacher and ask them to teach them HRM. Why? Because they are anyway sometime going to work in some company and they need it. Um, sometime universities I have seen with the syllabus where they have generic elective. So apart from their regular teaching in engineering, we are teaching them maybe something related to hotel management, dance. That will be one subject which they will learn for a year. Soft skill is one of the very important component which we need to consider when we go for teaching learning environment. Global citizenship I already spoke. Adopt adaptive learning environment. In this we will cater to individual need. As I was telling, we will classify student in various categories, and based on their need, we'll be bringing in different material to the classroom. Community engagement initiative, yes. So all of us have a certain community engagement initiative where we we give back to our society. So we can take our student to the schools nearby where they can interact with the student, with the student from the esteemed universities like this. If we go to the schools in nearby village, student will definitely get motivated. And the last point which I want to emphasize on education 5.0 for educator, HEI, and student is integrate environmental sustainability initiative in syllabus. So I think AICT has made it mandate now that we have to teach EVS. So we have one subject in first year as EVS for all the students who are part of university. So that curriculum is delivered by few teachers in the class, but the material is provided by AICT, and exam is also conducted. So like that, few initiative from the university will definitely help educator, teacher, and themselves to come up with education 5.0. So this is the last point which I want to emphasize on. The first thing is education 5.0 is the threat. 5.0 thread together innovation, adaptability, and holistic development. And when I talk about it is education 5.0, it is not a paradigm shift, it is a revolution in education. And the last point which I want to tell you is in the era of education 5.0, let our commitment to innovation, innovative pedagogy, ethical learning, and technological enhancement should bring out the best in all of us. Then only we can say we are truly adapting education 5.0. So with this statement, I would like to conclude education 5.0 is transforming minds, shaping futures. So all of you students are our future, and we are here to help you with education 5.0. The only request is you should use it ethically. Thank you. Anything, any question which you would like? Yes. Yes. So we are coming up with many research paper with our undergrad students. So what we do is first year we don't touch upon them, but we let them learn the basics, and we give them one research talk from a person who has a few open problems which will create eagerness among them to explore. And we will tell students that whoever is interested, come and meet me. And even if out of 100 students, only 5 students, maximum 5 students coming and approaching me, I will take those 5 students with me. 1 year is enough for me to create a eagerness among all other students, because those 5 students who are coming up with me, they are going for paper presentation, they are exploring other research forum where we explore. I used to give them the link and I used to ask them to read it through, give me an abstract of it, so they will write and send it back to me. And once a paper or a presentation comes out for those students, other will automatically get motivated, and they will come and ask us, yes, we also want to involve. As per my knowledge, there is no credit as of now, but when NEP comes, I am not sure whether there will be anything which we can add on to the research. But for us, we have few audit based courses. For that, we will be exploring a few things. And what I have observed is, like, first 2 years, um, most of the time they are not interested, but third year onward, when they are bothered about their placement, they will come and ask, they want to do extra project. And out of your project, if you can bring in research uh, output, that will definitely help student as well as us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was indeed an insightful session on Education 5.0. You rightly rested your speech with a quote that transforming minds and shaping future. It is indeed a perfect quote, ma'am. And we have sailed through 4 industry generations so far, and this is fifth generation. I guess this is really going to be helpful for all of us. Either it is students and either it is the faculties. So ethical use of technology is very, very important. That means ChatGPT has to be used only for the useful things rather than to complete your assignments. And last but not the least quote that madam has mentioned, empowering the faculties. I guess all the faculties have been empowered by various institutions. These days blackboards have been, replaced by the e-panels, and those e-panels are something which is the use of technology, and yes, we are getting empowered. So thank you so much, ma'am, to make us well versed of what the current scenario is going on. We are express our gratitude that you have taken time and you have spent this much of your energy and time to interact with the students of Symbiosis and the researchers who have come to Symbiosis. I would request Dr. Durgesh Gupta and Dr. Durgesh Mishra to extend a memento to ma'am for sparing her valuable time. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Madam Samiksha. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, ma'am. So the day must go on, and we have multiple sessions today. The next session we have is of Mr. Kapil Tiwari. Mr. Kapil is from Amazon and he is with us. I request sir to take his position on the dais. And to further continue, I request Dr. Neha Gupta to take over the charge. Put your hands together for Mr. Kapil.
Thank you so much, Indra ma'am. So we have started with a wonderful 2 sessions in the continuation of the series of keynote speaker we have with young and dynamic Mr. Kapil Tiwari. So I'm happy and honored to introduce him. So Mr. Kapil Tiwari currently pursuing his PhD from the Christ University, India. While being a software developer manager at Amazon, Mr. Tiwari has 19 years of experience in software projects. His role in OpenText, EMC, Sun Microsystem, SSNC, and Siemens information system, and have given him exposure to managing, designing, and developing cloud and on-premises software system. Mr. Tiwari is an alum of CTech ACT Bangalore and Devi University, where he pursued his MSc in Information Technology. His research interest lies in the domain of data privacy security, wherein he has contributed with his research paper and book. He is pursuing his PhD in privacy preserving machine learning, where he is contributing through the creation of ML architecture to ensure privacy for various contribution in the field. Mr. Tiwari also has reached exposure to finance technology, content management, and the medical domain. Sir, we are happy to be your presence here. I would like to invite Dr. Durgesh Mishra for the sapling presentation. Sapling. Thank you so much, sir. Sir, we would like to welcome you for the next address.
Oh, great. Okay. Is it on? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Is it a good morning? Do you have the energy to say good morning? Good morning. How are you all? Okay, let's see if next 30 minutes, this is what I've given. Let's say make some use of it. Okay. I would like to maybe continue from where Samiksha ma'am left, right? I think the learning starts from curiosity. And I can tell you one thing, that like you guys are into actually very fortunate. You are in the era of generative AI, where AI is taking a leap and turn, right? I mean, how many of you actually go to library to read few stuff which you want to read on? Do you? I mean, all those information is now no more needed. I think you don't need to really go to library because all those information is sitting in your computer or in your mobile phone. And why is it so? Have you seen the magic of generative AI? Have you seen magic of ChatGPT is a very like maybe fancy term, but the technology running behind is large language models, right? Which can actually tell you a lot about what you even don't know, or what maybe you have to maybe serve to 10, 15, 20, 100 different books to even get the information. So how many of you happen to use ChatGPT or that kind of software to actually do a study? No? None? I can actually give you an example. Let's see. Have you heard of, there is an application called as Party Rock? No? This is something which is released by Amazon AWS like a month or month and a half ago, right? And what it can do, okay, what I want to do is I want to actually create an app, and I just want to give a prompt that, hey, I am looking for a trip advisor application. That's it. That's it. I say generate app. What does it do? It's taking its own sweet time. Maybe it'll take 1 or 2 or 3 minutes. By the way, it is free. Whatever I'm showing you, it is free. You don't even need an AWS account to do this, right? What is happening is there is a large language model running in the background. What it's doing is looking for, okay, how can I expand this text? How can I make an application of TripAdvisor? What do I need really to make this happen? Okay, so you see that it is asking me, it's already actually named this TripAdvisor recommendation app. Okay, and this is where I can see that I want to go Indore. Okay, there is some date, maybe 12th of December, 2023, I'm traveling. Okay, and then see what is happening here. This guy is actually giving me a recommendation that, hey, looks like you're arriving in Indore at the point. Okay, what do you want to do? You can meet friends, you can go to Sarafa, you can check few things. Okay, and he is also telling me that like now you can go and take a flight back to Delhi also. So it is actually giving me the full recommendation of the trip. Now let's give a little switch, little tweak into the problem, right? Okay, I want to do again the trip advisor, but this time around I am a tourist. Okay, who is willing to see what can I do with my Indore trip, right? So again here you see, this is another, I already created this app. Just give me a minute. Right? By the way, name is already auto-identified as Touristify. I have not given this name. And it says it's a TripAdvisor app generator. Here I have saying that okay, I am going to Jaipur, Rajasthan, and my interest lies in forts. And it is giving me a recommendation that, you know what, you can do, go to day one, Amber Fort, City Palace, day 2, you can go to Jaigarh Fort, day 3, you can go to Jalmal Fort and all. Now you see, what did I really do? I just gave one prompt. And what it is giving me, a very dynamic kind of an application. Now imagine the kind of power. This is, by the way, this application which Amazon has generated, right? It's for fun purpose and educational purpose, right? But see, for example, you can make an app. Hey, I'm a privacy enthusiast, okay, and I want to know what is happening the latest into the privacy world, right? I can do another kind of an app called as research paper generator. I'm looking for a survey paper on privacy. So you see, this is again a similar app which I generated with just one prompt. On what I'm getting, what is my research topic, and based on that, it's going to give me a full text along with the references. I mean, imagine the kind of power you guys are having in your hand. What all you can do with this? Awesome, right? But now if I'm able to sell you well the power of large language models, let's go to the topic of the talk, what we want to do. Now, you may say that like, this is awesome, I want to use it right away. What is the catch? The catch is here. The catch is these large language models, which are trained on the internet level scale data, happens to generate content so confidently that whenever they are hallucinating, they are giving you wrong information, that too very confidently, right? The kind of accuracy you are looking from the information sometimes may not be there, right? That is what in LLM world is called as hallucination, right? Somebody like maybe disoriented and giving you very wrong information very confidently. That's what LLM can do, and that is what a con with respect to LLM. But is that only one? There is a second one, and which is unfortunately even bigger than hallucination, is the kind of privacy leakage they happen to do. And why it is so? See, because these large language models, have you ChatGPT like maybe 3.5, or maybe right now there is one model which is doing very, very good from Anthropic called as Claude, right? They have like 2 variation of 7 billion and 70 billion parameters kind of stuff. In order to have a 70 billion parameter model, right? Can you imagine the kind of data you have to train onto? Almost the whole internet data you have to throw to our model and train it for months to even reach to this model. And whatever information is going for training these models are actually not anonymized, are actually not aggregated. This is going as it is, right? So what happens is like I can tweak my model, I can tweak the way I'm doing the prompt, right? I can ask for some very specific private informations, which is a privacy threat. And mind you, you know the whole episode of the Cambridge Informatica 7-8 years back, right? Because of that, the whole US election was rigged, and it was a problem created by Facebook data, sharing the data with a third-party vendor, right, without taking consent from the people. This is what the privacy issue is. And I can tell you, if you hear me rightly, right, what I mean to say is like next 10 years, if you want to actually have your job well settled and maybe protected, I'm telling you, like become a privacy advocate, become privacy advocate, become a somebody who can actually assess privacy. Okay, so let's see if I'm able to now sell you the problem that like, yes, privacy in large language model is an issue. Let's see how we can resolve it. Is there a solution available today? Let's see. So yes, I'm going to talk about LLM privacy, privacy risks with LLMs, and what are the privacy preservation techniques available today. Do you have any case studies around it? Is there any ethical consideration with those respect to those solution, and maybe the future research directions? So yes, I think I would like to. I have given you only one example of the LLM's power, right? Where we actually created an app. But have you heard of something called as Code Whisperer? My fellow developers, have you heard of this particular term? Again, I'm biased towards Amazon, of course, for of course reasons. But what I mean to say is like Code Whisperer is a code writing utility where exactly the way you actually give a prompt that, hey, I'm looking for a bubble sort algorithm, give me a code in Python. And within no time, you'll get that code. Is it good? It's awesome, right? So problem is, again, whenever it is going to give you a wrong code, it's not going to tell you. And on top of that, some people who are having a very proprietary code, right, they should now be feeling, I mean, insecure. Maybe, I don't know, that like maybe who knows, my code is going to land up into ChatGPT or maybe some other LLM tool. So text to text, text to image, text to task. And I think just 2 days back, if you are following the news, right, Google has released something called as Gemini. So Gemini, they're saying that welcome to the Gemini era, where they're saying that like right now you have like different model for text to text, text to image, text to task, right? For example, if you're going text to text, you go for Claude or maybe ChatGPT, right? But if you have to generate images from text, you need to go to like stable diffusion kind of a algorithm, right? There are different models. But what Gemini is going to give you is like one single model doing everything. It's powerful, right? So there are many, but the problem remains same across all these area is this training data which is going to train these models are not really taken, I would say, with caution, right? So because of that, a lot of private data is going in. Who knows, maybe your data is actually falling in to develop another version of ChatGPT, right? And nobody has taken your consent. That, hey, are you okay if I take your private data maybe for a month? I'm just going to use it for this purpose. Nobody has taken that, and nobody is doing it even now. WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, happily taking your data. You don't know what they're going to do with it. Correct? So the problem of privacy starts from not only training. There are other ways also where the privacy can actually affect. So one of the reason I can give you that if you happen to give a very generic prompt that, hey, I am going through maybe a seaside and there is a uh, uh, there is a there is a church near me and I'm following maybe one taxi of this particular kind, right? With this information of prompt, right, somebody can actually deduce the information that, hey, looks like this guy is near Mumbai, right? Or maybe he has maybe some particular brand of the car, right? This is an information you have given to the person who is giving this facility without even knowing about it. Okay, so what kind of problems has happened in the past with respect to large language model, right? If you can see, this kind of attacks of privacy is already identified, right? There is a paper there. You can see that like there is something called as prompt injection attack. So I have created a model and I have given it to you, play with it. Now you are throwing a prompt, okay, and it is actually making my application, my model to be haywire. This is what prompt injection is, right? There are ways you can actually fool a ChatGPT model also to give you a very private information. That's what privacy leakage is going to happen. Right? Similar way, membership inference attack. This is the most common attack which happens with large language model. It's like, suppose I have given a model. If I happen to do some queries to it and figure out whether there is Indore people's data was used to train this or not. Right? This is called as membership inference attack because now you are unknowingly your identity or your group identity is revealed. Right? Similar way, training data extraction and like maybe attribute information or other kind of attacks are possible. This is a huge list. And I can tell you right now, this is a place where hardly any regulation is being happening. Right? There are only regulations like GDPR that, hey, if you're using my private information, now you need to actually take my consent on. That's the reason you see that like any website you go, there is a cookie setting which asks that, hey, I'm going to use your data for some purpose. Is it okay with you? Are you okay with these cookies or not? You say, you don't even read it. You say, okay. You are giving your information. You're letting go your privacy. Something is free, you are the product. Yes. So now, what are the kind of solutions what we can have in our hand to tackle this problem? So as of now, we in the research community, there are three kind of solutions available. One is differential privacy, another one is federated learning, and third one is secure multi-party computation. Right? Let's see what differential privacy is. And I can tell you that, like, whenever Apple is telling you that Apple is privacy, right? What end of the day they are giving you is differential privacy in the background. What does it mean? It's a very simple concept, right? Suppose you have 10 students in your class. What do? Before giving those 10 students data to your model, what you do is, like, you add 2 fictitious students also into it. So that means there are 2 people who does not exist in the class, but their data is going into the training, right? What happens is, like, that gives some kind of privacy to the rest of the people. This is exactly what differential privacy is. The meaning is, you happen to deduce or add some kind of statistical noise, right, along with the data to it. So that way you can actually preserve the privacy. By far, this is the most used technique. By far, this is the most popular technique. And whenever somebody is saying that, like, hey, we are giving you a privacy, right? Most of the time, the algorithm running in the background is differential privacy. And you must have heard about Gaussian noise or Laplacian noise, right? These are the typical ways you can achieve this differential privacy. Now, you may ask that, like, sir, why to add 2 people's data when I have 10, right? I can add 5. I can even 10, 20, 100. What is going to happen if I add a lot of noisy data, which is actually fictitious, into the training data? What is going to happen? The problem is your accuracy is go for toss, right? Then your model is not going to give you the right results, right? So that's where you need to find a right balance, how much of the noise you can make. And that is what is decided by something called as epsilon. That is called as privacy budget. So when you're thinking about differential privacy, it is the most useful and popular technique. At the same time, you have to find a right balance between the accuracy versus privacy budget. Second thing, and this is also very interesting one, is called as federated learning. Imagine, like, you are a hospital, right? And you have to give like your patient's data to somebody who is building the model, right? Now, if you're giving the patient's data, you're actually letting go the privacy of the patients, right? So what you can do is, like, what if the model which is supposed to train comes to your doorstep and say that, like, give me your data, I'll do the processing here only, and then I'll go. So that means your data is not leaving your boundary. That's exactly the concept of federated learning, in which what happens is that there is a single server and there are multiple nodes. What happens is, like, the server actually gives a model comes to your node, you do a training, okay, in your premise, and then a different set of model parameters arrives, and then you actually give that different set of parameters to server again. That's how server does it with different nodes, and it actually aggregates and make a model which is actually suitable for all the nodes. This is what federated learning is. But the kind of beauty you see here is, like, the data is not leaving your boundary. So you may assume that, like, yeah, this is private, right? It is private up to an extent, but there is still a possibility that, like, the model which is going to server, if there is a man in middle attack here, right, the people can still deduce the training data from the model parameters. This federated learning, this is one of the technique also used. Final is secure MPC, which is by far the most useful one. I mean, say in here, what happens is, like, your model, I'm sorry, your model is actually is encrypted and shared into multiple nodes. Okay, and then those multiple nodes do the respective trainings, and then there is aggregation happen. Okay, but the problem is, like, these nodes resides on network, and for this to happen, there are a lot of to and fro happens between the nodes and in the server, right? So it is, while it is the most effective technique, it is not the most efficient technique, because it is very communication heavy training. So whatever training you're doing into a single computer, right, if you happen to do an MPC setting, it is going to take more time. You need a very faster network to do this. But by far, this is one place where the research is evolving. There are more and more secure MPC protocols are coming, which can actually help you do a secure multi-party computation. Okay. Now, how do we evaluate these techniques? So one very simple technique is like figuring out the privacy, how much of the privacy you are preserving. Now, this is an interesting concept, right? How will you say that like how much of the data is private versus how much is not? But there also we have answers in mathematics. There is something called as mutual information, and there is something called as scale divergence. These are the two techniques through which you can actually figure out how much of the privacy one is preserving. Second is like there is always a trade-off between privacy or security and the performance. If you go for more privacy, you have to let go your performance. Or when you say performance in terms of large language model, it is the accuracy. It is a kind of accuracy they're giving in terms of their responses, right? So if you go with higher privacy, you have to let go the accuracy, performance, efficiency, right? And this is a trade-off. That's why by doing multiple researches, people are trying to find out the fine balance between the two. Okay. And thirdly is like, how do you scale this? So sometimes like what happens is like secure multi-party computation example, if I take, right, with the two-party one, it's easier to do, but if those two parties become maybe 10, 15, 20, then there are a lot of people involved into computation, and then your protocol becomes slower and slower. And especially when you're doing a huge like TBs, terabyte kind of data training, right, it's going to take years. So there are a few case studies. You might have heard about OpenAI, each one of us, right? The ChatGPT generator. So they are actually doing already something on rate limiting and filtering the user privacy, right? So basically, they are not allowing the people to actually just bombard requests to them. So they are rate limiting and figuring out that like if it is a kind of an attack, it could be a backdoor attack, it could be a membership and inference attack, but they are doing a rate limiter. Similarly, OpenMind is an open source community. They developed some framework on federated learning and differential privacy. So basically these framework we can out of the box use to actually gain some bit of privacy preserving when you're dealing with LLM. How many of you know that like LLMs is something we can fine tune? Suppose like Anthropic has given me Claude, but I want to train it on my enterprise data, my Amazon data, which Claude does not know. So what I need to do, I need to teach the model my content, right? For that, I need to actually give my content and actually make that model learn about. This is called as fine tuning. Fine tuning is another area. You need to preserve privacy of your content, right? So this is where the differential privacy and federated learning can come into the picture, and these frameworks can help. Similarly, Microsoft has a project called as InnerEye, right? This guy, what it does is actually it helps hospitals, like multiple hospitals, to share their medical imaging data without worrying about the privacy. This project is somewhat running, and this also uses a lot of differential privacy and federated learning in that project. I gave an example of Apple, Siri, Safari. Each one of them are applying differential privacy, and they say that Apple is secure, Apple is private. This is what they do. Finally, what are the last lessons we have learned from here is, see, privacy. I can tell you when I started my my software development journey right back in the 2004, we used to do a whole development cycle of 1 year, and then we used to actually have a performance validation or security validation. Trust me, sometimes those performance issues were so basic that like it needed me to actually do the completely revival of my architecture. Basically, what I mean to say is like if you have to worry about performance and security or privacy, you need to start from the day one, right? That is what is called as privacy by design. The privacy should be one of the non-functional requirements when you are developing your products. It has to be, it must be, right? So I think the lesson learned is like you need to think about privacy from the day one, not onto the nth day, n-1 day, that like tomorrow is a release and today I'm doing a privacy validation. Second thing is transparency and user consent. I think we need to be more open in terms of collecting data from the people, upfront transparently asking the data, and maybe upfront asking them that yes, we are going to utilize your data for ABC purpose, and we are going to keep your data until maybe X timeline, and after that we are going to delete it. It is very important, right? Third is like we need to secure the data, have a robust data governance, right? So data must be encrypted, anonymized all the times, right? So even if the teams who are handling the data directly should be only be having access to the data in an anonymous format. Finally, industry, policymakers, government need to come together and have a collaborative research. And this is why this topic is very relevant for this conference, right? We need to come together. It's not only academia who can solve this problem, because industry's way of looking at privacy is very different. And like India is coming with India Data Protection Law, and imagine like they come up with something unusually high, which the industry cannot maybe comply with. I think we need to come to a common ground. And that is why I've said that like a collaborative research is very, very important. Academia, industry, and government need to come together and do this research in a collaborative manner. And finally, the regulatory compliance is like all this GDPR, CCP is effect. And like very soon, I think the India Data Protection Bill was like, I think tabled this year, but it was sent back. But it is reviving. It's gonna coming 2024 is going to be the year when you're gonna see that. And trust me, like a lot of people like WhatsApp, Meta are gonna be in like soup if they are not ready for that impact. The kind of Twitter exchange between Twitter and India happened, right? India government. So I think we need to be really, really careful and be prepared for this. Anyway, so I think this is my recommendation. Privacy, I think use generative AI for your success, right? But be very, very careful in terms of consuming that information. Your education from the chat GPT or any such tool should be driven by your curiosity, and put your due diligence into it. I mean, do not consume the data as is, right? Maybe do read that information from multiple angles. But I can tell you, if you just looking for an start, right, in a particular topic, it can give you a very structured way of thinking, right? Use it. I do a lot of use of ChatGPT, Bard, right, and Anthropic's Claude model, but I always derive it with my own curiosity. Play with prompts, you're gonna get it, right? But be very, very curious and maybe thoughtful about using giving your data just like that. Maybe just don't throw that like, hey, I'm sitting in here, I'm looking for this. I mean, you don't know who's going to use your data and in what manner. Be very, very careful about privacy. And I can tell you, I'm a privacy advocate. I'd like to be one. This is my research subject. But I can tell you very confidently, the next 5-10 years is going to be the people who are going to take the privacy very seriously across industry, across world. So with that, I'll conclude my speech and I'm open for any questions. I hope it was some use of maybe or 30-35 minutes. I hope you might have learned something and maybe got some direction. Do research in this direction. This is a growing, trending field. Yes, sir. So I think very good question, sir. So I think when we talk about privacy, right, we need to actually learn about the stakeholders into any machine learning project. So any machine learning project involves 3 parties, right? First party is the people who are giving the data, right? We need to secure that, like suppose my data is being used for training a model, my data should be private. 1. 2 is the people who are actually working on these models to create the model. Those are called as data scientists. So the data scientists need to ensure that model parameters are not getting maybe not leaked, right? They should remain private. And third is the people who are gonna use that model to get some inference output. So suppose we did that, like I want to go Jaipur, like tell me how do I do that, right? So these are the 3 people. When we talk about privacy, we need to talk from all angles, right? I think federated learning in a way is going to secure maybe the first and the third, basically the people who are going to give their the data owners and the inference owners, right? I think the inference users, for both of them, the data will be secured by using federated learning. Now, you are right in a way saying that like model do not become private if the model's portion is shared. It is true, but way to think is like it's not. I mean, say it's like secure multi-party computation. Like one node can be maybe malicious, not all nodes can be malicious. So basically, there is a different setting. If you happen to actually make your private protocol efficient enough, you need to actually have all malicious party wala setting also. So in that case, I would say that yes, in case of model parameters, there is a risk of losing the model parameters when we are having this respective communication between the server node and the client node. Having said that, like it all depends on like the diversity of the nodes and the people who are actually giving the data. So if you have the right set of parties involved, there is a high chance of you preserving the privacy of parameters. Correct, correct, correct. It is a challenge. It is a challenge, and that is why actually in the privacy world, the federated learning is not a privacy preserving technique. It is a privacy not privacy protection. It is privacy preserving technique. It can preserve but cannot guarantee. Right? For guarantee, you need to go with something like secure multi-party computation, homomorphic encryption kind of things. I think it's a very North Star kind of a question, sir. I think I'm sure that like it's like dal versus path kind of things, right? So I think the way we are efficient in making our model more and more private, same way hackers are also getting more and more advanced. Like I think now you don't need to go internet and search for things, right? I think the chat GPT can give any and everything. I mean, that kind of information we are sitting on it. So I think they're gone are the days when the spoofing mail used to come with spelling mistakes, right? Nowadays, like the hackers are using ChatGPT. I need to hack somebody, give me a spoofing mail kind of example. Yes, sir, please. Agree, sir. And as you, I think you were explaining this yesterday. A lot of things is actually by hiding the identity. That's how I believe the darknet works, right? It has multiple ways. Correct, 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 correct. That is true, sir. So I think maybe LLM as of now, I have not seen it being used, but I'm sure that it is gonna, the days are sooner. Hmm. Yes, 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 correct. Yeah, I think so, the whole concept of like on what model. Am I mute? I think, sir, to answer your question, in my information, they are not trained onto the restricted data. I think whatever data they are being trained on are internet scale and they are available freely. That is the data which they are trained
for
on.
example, on patent sites, I can talk about tanks, for example.
Okay.
So tank ballistics, a lot of information is available on the patent websites, but those are not available in large language models.
So it is for right reason. I think maybe there is a concept called as ethical AI, right? So I think the companies are trying more and more these days, just not throw any and every data to the large language models. And I think that is how they are actually achieving this responsible AI. And I'm aligned with that. And it should not be present over there because like now, like how to create a bomb is like a kind of information available. I don't know.
And secondly, see, what you tell, privacy should be there. There is nothing like right of privacy. Okay, all governments are technically surveillance states.
Correct.
We always want to know who is doing what.
Yes.
All the time.
Yes.
Probably I don't want you to know it, but government would always like to know what we both are doing.
Yes. Okay. That is true.
So you cannot actually build privacy because of this. and you will not be able to do business unless you provide all the information route to the government agencies.
So I think that that is why I believe, see, privacy as a definition is very fluid. It changes from domain to domain.
But privacy is there in Tor network.
Yes, yes.
So there it's almost impossible to figure out who is doing what, because technically there are no servers. Of course, Amazon will not be there in that because the businesses can't exist in that domain.
Correct, correct. No, I mean, that is why I'm saying that like this is a growing field. As of now, we do not see a way that like privacy can be preserved. But I think I definitely foresee a future that like next 5 to 10 years, we will be able to achieve privacy preserving techniques across domains, and I think maybe across fields. I mean, it will not be as easy as possible for people to just procure like maybe
And
WhatsApp data and
secondly,
use it.
your assumption is that all the people can access the information at the very high rate anywhere in the world. This actually also gets broken down the moment you talk about disruption tolerant networks. Again, DTNs, this will not be able to operate.
Yes.
So I think the moment you go for interplanetary networks, we have to think of something different than this.
So that is why, sir, going into this field, I think we are set for next 10 years. If you happen to make this as our research subject, or maybe like this is where if I want to make my career on. I think there are lots of unknowns there, and that is why I think industry, business, and corporates need to come together to work on these problems. It is not perfect
By the
today.
way, just another question. You are in Amazon.
Yes.
So do you do profiling of people based on their behavior?
At least I am not aware of this, sir.
So finding out potential terrorists, for example, among your users.
Maybe I am not allowed to maybe discuss those confidential information. I'm sorry, sir. I am bound
But
by
for
that.
Indian government or CIA?
Sorry?
For Indian government or US government?
Both. I do not have any information. I can share it with you.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions? Thank you so much, and thank you so much for your time. I hope it was useful. Thank you.
So thank you so much, Kapil sir. It's really a very informative session, and new topic also. I do hope that students will have some kind of research along with the research scholars, and we can do something new, innovative with this particular topic. So now I would like to invite Dr. Durgesh Mishra, Director of CSIT, for presenting the memento. Thank you so much, sir. In the continuation of this series, now I would like to invite Ms. Shruti Jain to take over.
Hello, a very good afternoon to all of you present here. Our next session keynote speaker is Dr. Nitin Nayak. Dr. Nitin Nayak is a senior lecturer in software engineering and cybersecurity at Austin University School of Computer Science and Digital Technology, Buckingham, UK. With a focus on malware detection and classification techniques using quantum search, he is actively involved in cutting-edge researches. Nitin sir is open to mentoring PhD students and contributes to advancing the field of cybersecurity. His expertise lies at the intersection of academia and industry, making meaningful strides in the School of Engineering and Applied Sciences. He will be addressing us online. So we welcome him. Sir, over to you, sir. Nitin, sir? Yeah. Fine. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, just a moment. Can you see my PowerPoint? Hello?
Hello. Yes, sir?
Can you see my PowerPoint?
Yes, sir. Your presentation is visible.
Okay. Thanks. Thank you so much for having me. And I'm going to start with a very simple topic, which is very popular, and you can see from my title. And actually, this title I got from my little daughter when I was working. So I asked some questions, and then she said suddenly this. So I decided to use the title. And probably everybody is using ChatGPT at the moment. And my last speaker who talked about this large language model, basically the brain of this ChatGPT. So actually it is the continuation of that talk as well. So let me just tell you three questions to prove you are more intelligent than ChatGPT. You have done many, but let me just ask this question. So my question is, Nitin is not born in the UK. Is Nitin born in London? What is your answer? So you can answer this question. Yeah. When I asked ChatGPT, it says it can't answer because it hasn't got enough information. Fair enough. So that is the basis of ChatGPT, how it works, based on its information, but not based on understanding of words or questions. Okay, let's check a very simple math. So I ask a simple question, but also ask, just give me the answer. I will tell you what. So what would be the answer for this question? Anybody can tell me? Yeah. So the answer is 132. What ChatGPT gave me? Obviously wrong answer. Okay, let's try another question, the last one, and then I ask similar kind of addition, multiplication, very basic question. And what would be the answer? That is the answer. ChatGPT gave me the wrong answer again. And you might have got so many other questions you tested and ChatGPT got wrong. That's very common. But just to give you very, very easy, very simple questions which you can answer, but
Hello.
ChatGPT.
So
Hello.
sorry to interrupt you, but your slides are not changing in our screens. Huh. Your presentation slides. We
It
can.
is not moving.
I think you had shared your PowerPoint presentation only.
Oh,
Yes, sir. Like this.
okay. So I need to start screen sharing. So I think slide. Let me
Yes, sir.
see.
Please press F5, I guess, for slide. Then your slides will be transition
Sorry about
from the start, sir. First option.
that. Okay.
So just press F5.
Uh, I don't think it will work here on my Mac. So let's check. So I think I can do the. Is it
So play from start. Click that option.
play from start? Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Okay, sorry about this. So can you see moving? Can you see?
Dr. Nitin, I think you have to reshare it because you have to share your slideshow mode, not the.
Okay. Okay. Let me
Ah,
just.
or you can share the whole screen. If you share the whole screen, then it will be visible.
Okay. Yeah. So I can share the whole screen. Yeah. That would be just a moment.
You have to reshare it.
Yeah. 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 So just So yeah, I'm sharing. Now I've shared the whole screen. Yeah.
Again, you have to slideshow mode.
Yeah. Can you see now?
Yeah, it's fine.
And now it's moving.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So sorry about this issue. Okay. So let me just recap this. So what I was telling, I was asking few simple questions which you probably heard. And the first question was I asked, is Nitin born in London? Obviously, the answer you know, but ChatGPT couldn't answer. So what I'm trying to explain here, the ChatGPT work based on its correlationship, not based on understanding of words. And similarly, in case of maths, I just gave the simple question and I asked to give me the direct answer. And when I asked direct answer, it got it wrong. In the same next question, I gave the similar question, the right answer we know, and it got it wrong. So what is the problem? I mean, there are several things in the background which is happening. Obviously, we all know, as just the last speaker talked about large language models. So I'm coming to that point, but so let's look at the operational structure of a chat GPT, how it works or how it was trained. So the first step is its GPT, which obviously all the models proposed by OpenAI. OpenAI is the parent company who introduced or launched this chat GPT. So the most important component of this chat GPT is GPT. That is the heart, or that is the model works for chat GPT. And that is trained on the large data from internet from all over the place. So that data is trained through this GPT model. And then at the second level, they provided human feedback to improve that model. So that model is improved using the classification performed by human AI trainers. So they recruited thousands of trainers and then they trained their model on the specific case, on the specific area to get the proper right answer. Then the third stage, they prepare the reward model, they develop the reward model to train their model at the fourth stage, which is the optimization using reinforcement learning. And they again proposed their own model, which is called proximal policy optimization. So these are the four different models they use to train their chat GPT. So let me go through the proper steps again. So these are the steps where we use the model I explained earlier. So in the first step, we got large amount of data all over the place from internet and everywhere. And that is unlabeled data. So that data provided as a training base for the GPT. And obviously this is called the language modeling. We trained the large language model and that language model trained based on this data. But as I said, this data was not labeled data. And we cannot provide that amount of labeled data. That is difficult to create. And that is a huge amount of data. So the second stage, we provided demonstration data. That is where we involved trainers. AI trainers means OpenAI recruited AI trainers to provide more better training to the model. And that we call supervised fine tuning. And that is where their AI trainer they recruited, they write the correct answer and provide it as a human feedback, and then that dialogues or that data merge into the existing data and fine tune the model. So it can provide the correct answer, it can provide the specific answer. And then at the next stage, so it's all good. Now the model can perform better and the model is fine tuned. So what next? What is the problem? So now there's a problem with the model or with the training, because this model is trained on the large data set from internet, and that model has got all sort of, the data we got in this training, it has got all sort of data like bias data or harmful data or so many other things. So what ChatGPT improved at that stage, or what OpenAI does at that stage, so they ask their human experts or AI experts to rate the answer provided by ChatGPT or their model, base model. So they can rank the answer, they can rank their response, which is the best or which is the worst, and then that ranking is the basis for developing the reward model. And then once we train the reward model, then we perform the last stage or optimization of the model. So finally, they used their own technique, which they proposed in the previous slide I explained for the reinforcement learning. So then they perform this optimization of their model based on the reward model they developed through the human feedback. Now, important thing here, how did they optimize? So what did they do? They set the criteria, and that's why they called their method proximity. So they wanted to maintain the deviation of their optimization or result of their optimization close to their original model or original training. So they didn't want it to deviate quite far. So in that way, because the problem with the reward model and the training and optimization, if it gets the higher reward and then it goes towards that direction, and it might not give, in some cases, it might not give the realistic answer, trying to provide more better answer. So they set the limit, their answer or their response would be that limit. And that is how they trained the whole ChatGPT model. And we got the optimized model, which is the actual model we call ChatGPT when we interact. So that model provides the dialogue or answer for us when we interact with the ChatGPT. So that is how ChatGPT work or trained in the background. Now, so in a simple language, if you don't want to talk about all these technical aspects, so it is very simple to our Google autocomplete system or our mobile autocomplete system. So you give the word and then it completes and it gives the suggestion. And where GPT or LLM works as a base model for this ChatGPT. So basically, it is a guessing game. It is not guaranteed that always it will give you correct answer. And that is how it works. But obviously now we know it provides more credible, more convincing response. So we believe that is quite good. So on a broad level, why it is not intelligent? That is the question I raise. It is not intelligent. So on a broad level, if we look at the AI technology in ChatGPT, so it is a combination of generative AI plus conversational AI. So generative AI generates the new content, and conversational AI provides the way machine can interact with us. And that is how the ChatGPT used the AI. So it is quite powerful in terms of generating content, obviously new content, and interacting with us. But again, why it is not intelligent? So let me take you to the very general idea. So we have got three types of intelligence. We call it artificial narrow intelligence, artificial general intelligence, and artificial super intelligence. And if we call something is intelligent like us, like human, so that is artificial general intelligence. So where do classify, or how do classify this, our AI or these machine learning techniques or all these AI we use or develop? So mostly we have got these techniques as a first category. Narrow intelligence means they are very well trained for a specific task, but they are not near to anyway with AGI, means the general intelligence. General intelligence means when the machine will act exactly like us in every aspect. And the last is the super intelligent. Yeah. And that is beyond our label. So if the machine does better than us, then that is the case of super intelligence. So these are the three categories. Now, come back to the question which we started. So why ChatGPT is not AGI at the moment, or is not intelligent as us? So if we look at the intelligence, so the problem with AI is we don't have any proper or correct definition, in the sense everybody agree, for intelligence or even the AI. Some people, kind of take it as a very misleading, because everybody use AI with anything, and especially industry and especially market. So intelligence is the ability to learn, understand, reason, and adopt to new situation. Yeah. So it involves so many activities. So intelligence, as a human intelligence, I'm talking about. Now, what is the problem with the ChatGPT? So the ChatGPT is very impressive, no doubt about it. And it can generate surprisingly very impressive text and all sort of stuff which we are looking for. But despite all these things, don't forget, it is a large language model, and it is trained on the vast amount of data from internet. So it only works based on correlation. So correlation in the language, and it try to predict the best outcome for us. So let me give you the example. When I asked ChatGPT a question, I was walking on the road when somebody called me. Instead of turning right, I turned So probably left or back. ChatGPT gave me left. Then I clarify more. Somebody called me from behind. I asked ChatGPT again the same question. Then ChatGPT gave me the same answer. Then I tried to provide more options, and I kept doing, I was giving the different, I was trying to check whether it can change its answer. No. So I gave so many different combinations just to show 3. Now the interesting thing, if you look at here, it always gives me left. And that is because it is the language correlation. Turn right, turn left. So what is the closest related word in terms of statistics? Left. And that's why it is trying to predict left every time. So what I'm trying to show here, the ChatGPT is one aspect of AGI, general intelligence. It is not everything in AGI. So that is the important thing. If we compare or if we think it is intelligent like us. Now, another thing, when I explain this or when I say this, so people ask me, okay, what will happen with ChatGPT 5, 6, and so on? It will become super intelligent. So I simply say that's not the case. Don't forget, it is a large language model. It can improve over time, but again, it is giving answer based on its data. And the one of the success of large language model, it is trained on massive amount of data, and it can adopt, it can improve over time. And if the chat GPT gives you more correct answer, then this is because of its training, because of its large data set, and because of it is improving continuously. But again, that does not include human intelligence in several ways. So like it can compare with the brain operations, but there is another label where we can consider it is not capable, and which is emotional intelligence. It can, now some people can argue it does very well on the point of emotional intelligence. Again, it is all about the data. Yeah. So it can give you very best answer on the basis of emotional intelligence, but it is not in the real world. So the one thing is missing is the physical, and that is another aspects of human intelligence. So it can improve over time, doesn't matter ChatGPT 5, 6, but it is still not close to the general intelligence. I'm not saying the machine cannot be general intelligence, machine cannot be AGI or like human, but certainly ChatGPT itself is a one element of that. So it requires several other elements to reach to the AGI stage. Okay, thanks. So that's all from me. And any question?
Thank you so much, sir, for the valuable session today. We request the audience if they are having any questions. The session is open for questions. No question, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for enlightening us about this topic. Huh? Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Nitin. I'll request you to start your video, please. Can you start?
Video, yeah. Can you not see my video?
No, that you can just stop your sharing and then
Yeah.
start video.
Okay, yeah.
Kapil. उसको बोलना फुल कर देगा इसको फुल स्क्रीन पिंग कर दो उनको पिंग मोनार्क पिंग कर दो उनके वीडियो को पिंग कर दोगे तो फुल हो जाएगा नहीं, नहीं. Yes, thank you, Dr. Nitin, for sparing your time in your morning time. I think it's your morning, no? It's early morning.
Yeah. It's now it's 7 o'clock.
Right, 7 o'clock. So, thank you for giving your time, the space time for our IEEE conference. And I am happy that everybody is listening very carefully, and then your session was very, very informative. Right? Then we have to need something in chat. We have to do something on the improvement in the chat GPT. Chat GPT requires now. Chat GPT is not fully functionally. It's depend upon the data ultimately. So we require a lot of things here. Right. Thank you for your nice talk.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Thank you, Professor Mishra, for inviting me, of having me.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. Why? That's why I'm asking why you're not open. You are starting your video. You are looking very smart, sir.
Thank you.
Thank
No, I just forgot. It's just the initially, when I started, and then the slides was not moving. So it's just the I didn't realize that.
I want to see your face when I was in the UK. Then the same face, na? So it's a very smiling face. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you so much, Nitin, sir. Today we have our second keynote speaker, Murshal Deodi ma'am. Dr. Murshal Deodi, a highly accomplished doctor of intelligent system engineering with a research focus on natural language processing using machine learning and data analytics techniques, holds an MSc degree in informatics computer science from the Technical University of Berlin. Boosts extensive experience in both industry and computer science domain. She is also recognized with the UNESCO L'Oreal Women Scientist Award. I invite her to deliver his keynote session. Over to you, ma'am. I request you to kindly turn on your camera as well.
Hello, everyone. I'm Mursal Dawoodi, founder and president of Femtech. It's an organization working on educational improvement of Afghan women. Let's share my presentation for today.
I request you to pin her. Okay. Fine. Yes, ma'am, you can continue now.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. We gather here to shine a light on a subject that, despite its critical importance, often remains overshadowed. In the broader narrative of technological process, the role of women in tech startups. In an industry that prides its on breaking barriers and redefining the possible, it's paradoxical and indeed a matter of concern that women's participation and leadership in tech startups are not where they should be. Today, we stand at a crucial point in this journey. As we explore the statistical landscape, deep dive into the challenges and celebrate the women in tech startups. Let us also commit to being agent of the change we wish to see. Our discussion today is more than an academic exercise. It's a call to action, a call to transform the fabric of our industry to be as diverse, as dynamic, and as inclusive as the technologies we aspire to create. So, my title of presentation for today is Female in Tech Startups, Overcoming Challenge and Leading Innovation. Okay, I don't know why. Okay. As you can see, this is my table of contents. I will go to the problem statement, then overcoming barriers and some suggestions. And also I will put some examples of situation of women during pandemic, and we will come to the conclusion. Okay. I'm sorry. As we embark on our exploration of women in tech startups, it's essential to begin with a clear understanding of the current statistical landscape. Let's start with a broad overview. In the realm of technology-related jobs, women's representation currently stands at 26.7%. This figure is starkly disproportionate when compared to the nearly equal representation in the broader workforce. But the disparity becomes even more pronounced as we ascend the corporate ladder. In leadership roles within the tech sector, women are significantly underrepresented. Only 10% of women hold C-suite positions, and a mere 5% have reached the CEO level in major companies. This decline is not a localized phenomenon, but a global challenge across different regions and countries. The trend remains consistent. Women are underrepresented in tech. However, some regions are making more progress. Let's focus on multifaceted challenges faced by women tech startups. One is weight gap in tech sectors. Let's begin by examination the wage gap. In the tech industry, this gap manifests not only in overall earnings, but also in the equity and investment opportunities available to women. On average, women in tech earn 93 cents for every dollar earned by their men counterparts. This disparity, however, is not uniform across all tech sectors. In certain areas, like software engineering, the gap is slightly narrower, with women earning approximately 94 cents to the dollar. Yet, these figures still represent a significant cumulative loss over the course of women's career. Unconscious bias is the workplace and during the funding process further strengthen these disparities. This bias can manifest in various ways. From the types of questions women entrepreneurs are asked by investors compared to their male counterparts to the challenge they face in obtaining mentorship. In platforms like Product Hunt, where early user feedback is crucial, bias sampling becomes a significant hurdle as approximately 90% of users are men. This gender-skewed feedback loop can influence the perceived viability and success of product and service offered by women-led startups. Okay. Then we saw that these are the major challenges that a woman face when she starts an organization or company. Okay, how to overcome these challenges? Amidst these challenges, there are countless stories of resilience and victory. Women entrepreneurs have successfully navigated these barriers, finding innovative ways to access capital, build networks, and gain visibility in the male-dominated space. For example, women in tech have turned to grants as alternative funding sources, tapping into programs like the Amber Grant and the Launch program. These initiatives not only provide financial support but also offer business education and mentorship, helping to bridge the networking gap and empowering women to build robust, sustainable businesses. Grants play a crucial role in leveling the playing field. They offer a vital source of non-dilutive funding, enabling women to retain more control over their startups while scaling their operations. For instance, the Amber Grant awards $10,000 monthly to a woman-owned business, with additional year-end grants, offering a significant boost to women entrepreneurs at the crucial stages of their business growth. In summary, while the challenges are significant, the determination and ingenuity of women in tech startups are leading to meaningful progress and change. These efforts are not only reshaping the landscape of tech entrepreneurship, but are also setting a precedent for future generations of women innovators. In this critical phase of our discussion, we turn our attention to the remarkable ways in which women in tech startups are overcoming barriers and paving the way for groundbreaking innovations. One of the key strategies employed by women to dominate these challenges is the development of robust professional networks. Women have been adapted at leveraging platforms like LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, not only to connect with peers and mentors, but also to amplify their voices and ideas. Social media has become a powerful tool for women to share their achievements, seek advice, and build a community of support and encouragement. Mentorship and the presence of role models play a pivotal role in empowering women in the tech industry. Organizations such as Women Who Code and Women Who Tech have been instrumental in this regard. Women Who Code, for instance, has created a supportive community for over 180,000 members, offering access to coding resources, global events, and job boards. job boards. This level of support is invaluable, providing women with the guidance and resources needed to navigate the tech landscape. Another solution is highlighting women-led innovations. The impact of women in tech is not limited to overcoming barriers. They are also at the front of innovation. Women-led tech startups have introduced a range of solutions, from AI-driven healthcare applications to the technology initiatives. These innovations are not just commercially successful, they often address societal and environmental challenges, showcasing the unique perspective and depth women bring to the tech industry. Access to grants and funding programs is another possible solution. Access to funding remains a critical component of startup success. Recognizing this, a variety of grants are available to support women entrepreneurs. FedEx, for instance, awards up to $30,000 to small businesses annually through its small business grant content. Similarly, Comcast's Rise Invest Fund provides $5,000 grants and business resources to entrepreneurs in target cities. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce also offers an annual grant open to all small business owners, driving economic growth with one grand prize winner receiving a 25,000 cash prize. But this is for US, and the situation in any country is different. Consequently, while the path for women in tech startups is fraught with challenges, their resilience, innovation, and strategic use of resources like networking, social media, and grants are not only breaking down barriers but are also setting new standards of excellence and innovation in the tech world. The pandemic impact on women in tech. The COVID-19 pandemic brought about significant changes in the tech industry, affecting men and women differently. According to the Boston Consulting Group survey of 1,200 tech executives, the COVID-19 pandemic had a significant impact on women leaders in tech. The transition to work from home and hybrid work models, while providing flexibility, also highlighted unique challenges for women. The survey found that a greater share of women than men reported ease in certain managerial tasks during the pandemic, especially for mid-level women. However, minority women faced increased challenges, including difficulty in connecting and mentoring and sponsors. Moreover, one of the most pressing issues for women was the amplified caregiving responsibilities. Women faced greater caregiving responsibilities, with 44% of women caregivers spent more than 20 hours per week on these duties compared to 33% of men caregivers. The transition to work from home and hybrid work models, while providing flexibility, also highlighted the unique challenges women face in balancing professional and personal responsibilities. Companies are now recognizing the need to support women in this new work reality and are taking steps to help them advance and thrive. Looking ahead, as discussed in a 2023 article by Talent Revolution, the tech industry continues to be one of the world's fastest growing fields. With a widening talent gap, the demands diverse hires. However, there is still a notable delay in addressing the gender balance. In the UK, for example, only 17% of IT specialists were female as of 2019, a number that has remained virtually static for a decade. This stagnation is surprising given girls' superior performance in STEM subjects at school. For example, girls overperform boys across the board in the UK's standard high school exams, yet find themselves outnumbered 82 to 70% in computer science courses at the university level. Creating more role models in business and tech is essential for encountering women in the industry. More women need to be promoted into senior roles to support and inspire others. In a recent webinar discussed by a Talent Revolution, several industry experts, including Carla and Nelly, shared their insights on the role of mentorship and sponsorship in the tech industry. Carla and Nelly, both recognized as influential figures in the tech sector, emphasized the importance of mentorship for women's career advancement. Carla, known for her work with the association She Loves Data in Singapore, highlights the value of networks offering workshops, courses, and mentorship programs. Nelly, a respected leader in management and leadership development, pointed mentoring programs. Nelly pointed out the transformative potential of placing more women in senior roles, not only for the individuals involved, but for the entire organizational culture. These experts, along with others, sorry, I'm sick. These experts, along with others, underscored the need for more role models and sponsors in the tech industry to support the achievements of women at all levels. Placing women in senior roles is expected to change the management culture in tech. More women in leadership could lead to a more collaborative and inclusive industry, rewarding collaborative working methods rather than dominant personality types. The tech industry is becoming increasingly interdisciplinary, interacting with fields from philosophy to anthropology, where diversity of thought is crucial for success. Many tech companies are becoming more open to accommodating women's work-life balance, recognizing that flexibility is key to remain top talent. Women are increasingly taking advantage of the opportunities to freelance, working on dynamic projects while managing their personal responsibilities and caring their children. This shift is also beneficial for organizations as they see the clear benefit of contracting external expertise. To conclude, panelists in a recent webinar shared advice for women aspiring to success in tech. Key suggestions included being more assertive, seeking mentors, and balancing career with personal interests. A good work-life balance is essential for personal development. Women are encouraged to dream big and not be afraid to seek help or mentorship in changing office environment. In summary, the pandemic has been both a challenge and a catalyst for change for women in tech. It's highlighted issues and accelerated trends that are reshaping the industry. The future of tech not only depends on technological advancements, but also on including women at the forefront of these changes. The industry is reshaping humanity, and having women at the table is indispensable for this transformation. As we look toward the future, it's obvious that the journey for women in tech startup is both challenging and inspiring. The barriers from the wake up to unconscious bias are significant but not insurmountable and impossible. The resilience and innovation demonstrated by women in overcoming these barriers are not only commendable but essential for the growth and diversification of the tech industry. Organizations and initiatives that provide mentorship, networking opportunities, and financial support play a crucial role in this journey. These efforts in leveling the playing field for women in tech are invaluable. As we move forward, it's crucial that we continue to support and invest in these initiatives, ensuring that women not only have a seat at the table but also the resources and opportunities to lead and innovate. In closing, let's remember that the inclusion of women in tech startups is not just about achieving gender parity, it's about enriching the tech industry with diverse perspectives and ideas. It's about building a future where innovation is driven by a workforce that truly represents the world it serves. Thank you for your attention, your commitment to discuss, and for being part of the essential conversation. This is my contact. You can find me via LinkedIn and also via our website.
Hello. Yeah. Thank you, Murshil ma'am. I request you to kindly unshare your screen and turn on your camera
Okay.
for once.
Okay. Let me find the camera.
Deepak sir, please, I request you to pin ma'am on the screen.
Can you see
On
my
behalf of
screen?
Symbiosis University of Applied Sciences, I thank you so much for your knowledgeable session, ma'am. Your thoughts on women empowerment and opportunities for women in organization for their growth is extensive. I would like to thank you again for encouraging us all. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us here.
Thank you too.
Thank you. So the next session will proceed with Dr. Devendra Chauhan sir. So I invite him to take over the stage.
Thank you, Shruti ma'am. Now, our next session is going to be start by Dr. Hena Iqbal ma'am. So, ma'am, may I audible? Am I audible?
Yes.
Hena ma'am?
Yes, you are audible.
Yeah. So, I feel honored to introduce our keynote speaker, Dr. Hena Iqbal. Ma'am is a distinguished academician and professional in the field of information technology, holding a PhD degree in IT. Dr. Iqbal has established an impressive academic and research career, contributing significantly to the advancement of knowledge in the field of technology. Currently, Dr. Iqbal serves as an adjunct faculty member across several esteemed universities in the United Arab Emirates like Ajman University, Skyline University College, Kharjwamishi International College. As an assistant professor, Dr. Iqbal brings a unique and strong academic approach with practical knowledge. And one of Dr. Iqbal's remarkable strength lies in the area of research, with a passion for exploring emerging trends and critical challenges in IT. Dr. Iqbal is a member of IEEE, has published extensively in reputed journals and conferences. The research work includes a diverse range of topics from cybersecurity and IoT to data analytics and smart technologies. These contributions not only showcase Dr. Iqbal's dedication to pushing the boundaries of knowledge, but also in positioning them as a thought leader in the ever-evolving field of IT. Dr. Hena Iqbal's academic expertise combined with a passion for research and commitment to educational excellence makes her valuable asset to the academic community in the field of information technology. Now I request ma'am to start the session. Ma'am, please.
Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to be a part of this international conference. I am really feeling honored. Now I'm just sharing my screen. So my topic for today's international conference is about cybercrime and security. So cybercrime now, it has become so much, means cyber security and cybercrime. It's like a day-to-day life that we are daily handling with these situations some or other day. Even some educated people or those who have no sound knowledge of computers or who have also the sound knowledge of computers are being affected by the cybercrime. So what are the cybercrime and what security we can provide, or what precaution we can take in order to handle the situations? So first of all, we should know that what is cybercrime. So cybercrime, actually, it is, we can say, a broadly described criminal activity. Before, if anything was done through the internet, it was not considered as a criminal activity. But because of the activities that were going around and it was targeted to the money laundering or to the mental abuse, so it has been described as the criminal activity as well. So we can say that the cybercrime is used broadly describe criminal activity in which computers or computer networks are a tool or a target where it includes everything about electronic cracking to denial of service attacks. Now, we have different aspects or different ways of cybercrime as well. So denial of service attacks, we say that if we are attacking web's ID or internet protocol, or we are attacking to a personal belongings like our you can say bank, our bank informations or something like this. So crime committed using a computer and the internet to steal a person's identity or illegal imports or malicious programs. So it can be either person's identity or if we are copying or pasting anything. Now that is also considered as a cybercrime, as we know that for plagiarism, if we are creating or if we are writing any research and if the plagiarism is more than 20%, then also it is considered as a cybercrime. Now, if we will go to the history, the first recorded cybercrime history took place in 1820. It was really almost 100 years back. So 1820, Joseph Marin Jacquard, a textile manufacturer in France, produced the loom. This device allowed the repetition of a series of steps in the weaving of special fabrics. This results in a fear amongst Jacquard employees that their traditional employment and livelihood were being threatened. They committed acts of sabotage to discourage Jacquard from further use of new technology. This is the first recorded cybercrime. Why we are telling recorded cybercrime? Because maybe it would be used repetition of those aspects, textiles or designs, but it was not recorded. It means the complaint was not recorded. But in 1820, since the textiles manufacturer, that was Joseph Marin, reuses the series of the looms of the steps again and again. And so it was actually affecting the employment of the people, those who were doing through their hand. So it is also termed as the cybercrime, because he took the technique from the common people and used in his own way, so that the load for the human being would be less, and it would be more frequently and more efficiently used in a very short span of time. Now, categories of cybercrime. The computer, we can say that it is used as a weapon nowadays. Nowadays, everywhere we are using computer, even mobile, we can say it is a handy computer, where we can send messages, emails, or we can do online meetings, WhatsApps, and so on. So in short, I can say that what we can do through the computer system, now we can also do in a convenient way through our mobile. So if we are using so commonly, so easily we are using the mobile, so it can be misconducted, it can be misused as well. So the computer we can say, is as a weapon, because we are using this in our day-to-day life, like as if we are inhaling the oxygen. It is something like that nowadays. So using a computer, it can attack other computers, like pornography, threatening email, assuming someone's identity, sexual harassment, defamations, spam, and phishing. So these all we are facing nowadays. But yes, nowadays people have become alert. So many people are not going influenced or targeted. If they are targeted, they are not being suffering from these challenges. But still, some people who have no knowledge, or who have very less informations, or who are not aware of the current situation. Current situation means the current software that has been developed. So then again, they also suffer from this cybercrime situations. So computer as a target, we say that using a computer, we commit real world crimes, that is viruses, worms, and industrial espionage, software piracy, hacking. Now, what is cybercrime? It is financial fraud, like if I am using it, someone's identity, or I am just telling the information. I'm calling someone as a bank employee, and I'm asking the OTP, and then I am withdrawing the handsome amount of his or her money. That is also termed as a cybercrime. So it is like financial fraud, sabotage or disrupt of data or networks. Means that networking is there, I am just disrupting those networks. Theft of property informations, if my informations is being used in some other way with some other people. Denial of service, or making service unavailable. Denial of service means that I'm making the service unavailable to some authorized people. Unauthorized access by insiders. So if the insiders who have the authorized access, but we are making an unauthorized access just to misuse or misconduct some informations, employ abuse on internet privileges, or through internet, if we are abusing some employees, or injection of viruses through which we can hack or we can disrupt the computers. These all can be considered as a cybercrime. Now, type of activity performed by intruder, it is manipulate data integrity, installed and sniffer, stole password files, providing scanning systems, Trojan logons, IP spoofing, introduced virus. So these all things, activity that is performed by the intruder. So we should, there are some different methods that we are using and we are applying. And whatever the current situation, means how we are developing, nowadays, it's very fast, means we are changing very fast. we are getting into the world of AI very fast. If we will see the history like 10 years or 15 years before, we were not, the change was not so fast, but nowadays the change is very fast. So if we are developing new software, then also the cyber crime intruder is also being developing how to get into the loopholes of that present software as well. So first of all, we should know what is the term hacking means. Hacking in simple terms means an illegal intrusion into a computer system or network. It is also known as cracking. Government websites are the hot targets of the hackers due to the press coverage it receives. Hackers enjoy the media coverage. So hacking is like, as we can get inside someone's website, or someone's government websites is generally targeted. There are two types of hackers are there, like we say white hat hackers and black hat hackers. So white hat hackers, generally it happened, white hat hackers, at the name itself says, it says that if I am going into the loopholes that you have created any website, and then I am informing you that this is the loopholes that you have to work on it to ensure that it is fully protected. That is white hat hackers. Whereas black hat hackers, that they are going inside that website and they are misusing that website for their personal use. So that is also a type of hacking. Like in India also, it happened, I think 2 years before, one IIT engineer have hacked the Google for 52 seconds. It happened. And then he informed the Google where the loophole was and why he was able to hack their website. So the Google has worked on that, and he was being praised for that. So it means that hacking, if we are doing it for a positive thing, it is a good thing. But yes, if we are doing for our personal aspects and damaging the other people, or targeting other people or other government or country, then it is termed as we can say it is termed as a very it's a crime. It's a crime that we should avoid that. Then we have child pornography. The internet is being highly used by its abusers to reach and abuse children sexually worldwide. As more homes have access to internet, more children would be using the internet, and more are the chances of falling victim to the aggression of pedophiles. So it has also become very common that the child pornography was there. The people uses the child minds, we can say, and the target their crime, for the target crime is the small or the growing teenage kids. So now we have to make our kids also aware about these things, so that they should be aware if someone is misusing or misconducting them. They should know that it has been misconducted. And also, if the kids, if we have kids in our home, we should, now the website are also providing the parenting access, so that what the child is being accessed, you also know, and what access you are giving to the child, that is also being limitations, that have also being limitations. So we can avoid the child pornography or the other thing, that the child should not get targeted by these facilities that is being upgraded nowadays. Then we have denial of service attacks. In computing, a denial of service attacks is a cyber attack.
Hello.
Yes.
Madam, you are muted.
No,
you
I am
not audible.
No, I am not muted.
Hello.
I am not muted.
Yes, now you are audible.
Okay, I was not muted actually.
Okay.
So for the past 15 minutes, it was muted?
No, just for few seconds, ma'am.
Okay, okay.
And ma'am, one more request.
Yeah.
Due to we have a limited time, so can we shorten the presentation?
Oh,
Yes.
okay, okay.
Thank you.
So denial of service attack, it is like cyber attack in which we just seek for machine network resources and intended users temporarily and indefinitely disrupting the services of the host connected to the network as well. Means if I am targeting to the whole system, like IP address, then it is termed as the denial of service attack. Then we have virus dissemination, that is malicious software that attaches itself to the other software, like through the email, junk email, or through any messages that we have some link. So the information is that if we don't know about that particular link, if we have no idea, or if we don't know that concerned person, it's better not to click on that link in order to avoid this virus dissemination. This is the cyber threat diagram that has been evolved. 1977, then breaking website, 1955, malicious code 2000. Means they have also, as we are developing, we means as the software is developing for the helping or the development of the people, the cyber threat is also being developing in the same pattern. Then we have computer vandalism, that is damaging or destroying data rather than stealing or misusing them is called cyber vandalism. That is transmitting virus. These are programs that attach themselves to a file when circulate. So it is like this, that they are going like password, they are taking all the informations and they are misusing this one. Cyber terrorism is also nowadays very common. Terrorist attacks on the internet is by distributed denial of service attacks, hate websites, hate emails, attacks on sensitive computer networks, or to simply to that particular country, to that particular government. These also are also termed as cyber terrorism. Then we have software piracy, that theft of software through the illegal copying of genuine programs or counterfeiting and distributing products indexed to pass for the original. Means if we are using that particular thing, that it is our thing illegally, and mentioning that it is my work, that is termed as the software piracy. Phishing is just one of the many frauds, like phishing as we do, that we give something and then if the fish comes and eat that food, it is being caught. In the same way, through the email, we are getting the information that, okay, you have like, you won this much amount, the lottery, and you just give all the informations of your bank account, including the CVV or the OTP, and then you are being caught. So that is also termed as the phishing. So this is also, we should use the website which is being saved, that HTTPS. If it is only HTTP, it means it is not the valid account. This can be hacked. But HTTPS, if it is written, it is means secured. That hypertext transfer protocol secured. So if it is secured, it can't be hacked. But if it is written only HTTP, you just check your ID, then it means this website can be hacked very easily. Then we have cyber stalking. It is used for the internet of electronic means to track someone. Through this also, we can just go, we take the information where they are going through the mobile, and we can do the cyber security stalking as well. Now we have cyber security. It is like specially related to the internet. It is that rules that how we are just going for the safety. So this security is like we have to change the password thoroughly after 3 months. We should not discuss our passwords to anyone. And also it should be strong password. And we should avoid opening and deleting suspicious or emails or attachments. We have to check the privacy settings, security settings, and we have to always upgrade our antivirus software. So this is only the thing that has been explained here. Advantages of cybersecurity, it will defend us from critical attacks. It helps to browse the safe website. Its security process all the incoming and outgoing data. And also security developers will update their database every week once, hence the new virus is also deleted. So if we are doing these all informations in our computer system or in our laptop or in any companies, then we are most probably 99% we are safe from the cyber attacks. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Any question from audience side? I think no question is there. So on the behalf of Symbiosis University of Applied Sciences, I am very thankful to Dr. Hena Iqbal madam for spending their valuable and precious time with us. And now the next keynote speaker, Javed Ahmed sir. But yes. So good afternoon to Javed sir. Am I audible?
Hello, good morning. Are you hearing me?
Javed sir, am I audible?
Yeah, hello, are you hearing my voice?
Yes, yes, sir. You are audible.
Good morning.
Sir,
This is
just a
David
second.
Bakash, and
Sorry, sir, just
today,
a second. So it's my privilege to introduce our next keynote speaker, Dr. Javed Ahmed, sir. Dr. Javed Ahmed is a PhD in interdisciplinary intelligence system engineering. He served as a research assistant at University of Syracuse, an associate professor at Kabul University. He also worked as a researcher at Abington University, France. Additionally, Bakhtash sir has the roles of an academician advisor and general director of science and innovation in Afghanistan. Currently, he is an invited researcher at WHZ Zurich University of Applied Sciences, Germany. Now, I request Javed sir to start the session.
thank you very much. Hello to everyone. I hope you have my voice, and I shared my screen. I don't know that it's visible for everyone or not.
Yes, it is visible, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. And thanks from your team, and thanks from this university who held a session for IEEE. Today, I would like to have a presentation about the software evolution. I'm sure everyone heard about software evolution and the life cycle for a project of software engineering. As you know, software engineering have the SDLC structure, software development life cycle, that includes software requirement engineering, software design, software implementation, and at the end we have software maintenance, which is a required and necessary part of software engineering. We will discuss about software evolution, importance of software evolution, software maintenance characteristic, development and maintenance cost, and at the end of the session or this presentation, I will have the references. Software evolution, it's impossible to produce system of any size which do not need to be changed. Once software is put into use, new requirement emerge and existing requirements change as the business running that software changes. So a software must have this ability to bring the changes after delivering the system to the company or the stockholder of the project. For example, we have a project based on software engineering, and at the end of the project, we must have this ability to bring some correction, some adoption on some parts in the software as a software maintenance. Part of the software may have to be modified to correct errors that are found in operation, improve its performance, or other non-functional characteristic. All of this means that after delivery, software system always evolve in response to demand for changes. Software evolution approaches, they are based on For the software evolution approach, we have three big parts or three big strategies that we should consider on it, which is software maintenance, architecture transformation, software re-engineering. For software maintenance, as I said before, for example, we need to bring some changes in SRS or software requirement specification, which is a document that we are generating and adding all the process from requirement gathering to requirement analysis to development and to the end of the project, like maintenance. The software must have this ability to bring changes in the SRS section and all parts. Architecture transformation, for example, we would like to transfer a structure to a system. The software must have this ability to. And software re-engineering, for example, we need to add some patches to the software, and this system should have this ability to bring the changes as well. Importance of evolution. Most of the organizations have huge investment in their software system. They are critical business assets. To maintain the value of these assets to the business, they must be changed and updated. Companies prefer evolution on new development. And there are two things in software evolution, which is software maintenance and software changes. Software maintenance is the general process of changing a system after it had been diverted. And the change may be a simple change to correct coding errors, more extensive changes to correct design errors, or documentations or documented new requirements. So for the software maintenance, we should have to consider on coding errors. For example, we are facing at the end of the project that there is an error. So we must have this ability in software maintenance section to bring the changes and to solve the errors. Also, in the documentation sections, we must have this ability to have a look on the SRS and find the problem and then add the solution in the SRS part of the software. Software maintenance characteristic, we need to look at maintenance from three different viewpoints. The activities required to accomplish the maintenance phase and the impact of software engineering approach on the usefulness of such activities, the cost associated with the maintenance phase, the problem that are frequently encountered when software maintenance is undertaken. The most point is the software cost, which is including in software maintenance part. For example, if we decompose the budget of a project into two sections, for all the development phases, we need to only think for 40% of budget. And in maintenance section, we need to think for 60 other percent of budget. For example, the most budget which is considerable is budget for maintenance part. So type of maintenance, we have corrective, we have adaptive, and we have perfective. The meaning of corrective, change system to correct, for example, the code, for example, the SDLC life cycle, or any part of the SDLC. For example, we need to bring some correction in design, we need to bring some correction in development or in requirement engineering, which is very important in SDLC or software development lifecycle. Adaptive, change a system that be compatible with different operating systems. For example, when we are developing a system, the system must have this ability to set up with all the operating systems. For example, one person use the operating system of Windows. The system must be compatible with the operating system of Windows. The other person use, for example, Mac, Linux. The system should work with all the operating systems. And perfective, modify the system to satisfy new requirement. For example, we need to have some patches or we need to bring some changes in whole the software. So the software must have this ability. What affect the maintenance or maintainability of an application? Application age, size of the course, programming language, for example, structure, for example, documentation or end user involvement, maintenance management, and these all. We should think for these parts as a part of maintenance or part of evolution for a software project. Maintenance side effect, when we are doing the maintenance section, there will be some side effect in documentation. For example, there will be some changes in the documentation section. For example, when we are bringing changes in design, we should bring the changes in the documentation part. And it is somehow challenging for the stakeholders or for the company that offer project of software for us. Code, for example, when we are doing the maintenance, the project implemented with one language, those who are doing the maintenance are familiar with new another coding language. So it is challenging for them as well. And the data structure, when we are having a look on the software requirement specification or the documentation, we are checking that which data structure used for the software. And when we are doing the maintenance, maybe we face some difficulties for the data structure as well, which are some side effects for software evolution or software maintenance. Development on maintenance cost, as I mentioned before, we should consider more budget for the maintenance part. If we decompose the software budget into two parts, most of the budget is allocated for the software maintenance and few of that for all the life cycle. It means the software evolution and software maintenance is the important and required part of a software engineering project. That's all for the session about software evolution and software re-engineering and also software maintenance. If there is any question, please feel free. Thank you very much. Hello?
Yes, thank you very much, sir, for such an informative session on the software development. And now our next keynote speaker is not due to some inevitable reason. He could not join us. Sir.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello, Javed.
Yes.
Mishra. Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, Javed, can you start your video and so that we have taken one pic?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you ping it now?
Is it okay?
Yes, yes. Yes. Now we will take the picture. खड़े रहो यहाँ पे. कौन ले रहा है? एक मिनट. Yes. Wait. Yes. Thank you, Javed, for your informative session, and you have accepted my invitations.
Most welcome. Thank you for your team, and thanks for the IEEE that make this conference and invited me. Thank you very much. I hope that we can have cooperation in the future as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Next speaker.
Our next keynote speaker, due to some inevitable reason, he is unable to join us. So now I request all the participants to proceed for the lunch, and after the lunch we will have the paper presentation technical sessions. And thank you.